Hi, I'm Peter Dunne, leader of United Future. We've been keeping governments on the straight and narrow ever since MMP came in. You'll know that every 3 years when the parties come around looking for your vote, they say they want to know what you think, and then they proceed to lecture you about what they think. Well, that's not how we operate. United Future believes in listening to you, reflecting on it, and then acting. And so we've asked voters for their views on various important issues. Trust is important to us in this campaign, so for starters, we asked whether you thought Labour or National could be trusted to govern fairly if they won enough seats at the election to govern alone.
I think they'll listen if they want to, if it suits them.
Rather support MMP because there's more than just two opinions out there, so the first past the post is a no-no for me.
I think probably the little parties are a good idea just to get a bit of a balance in there.
You need pressure groups in Parliament, of course you do, yeah. If you want to live in a democracy anyway.
I don't want to see any party in on its own.
The last thing the country deserves right now is either Labour or National governing by themselves the way they used to. To keep them honest, they need reliable and sensible partners who will help them govern in the interests of all New Zealanders, not just the few at the margin. And that's where we come in. Our commitment to parents and families is all about ensuring your interests are never taken for granted. We want every family to enjoy a decent standard of living. That's why we want to bring taxes down. We prodded and pushed the sometimes reluctant Labour government to cut business taxes to 30%. We helped design the personal tax cut program that kicked in on October the 1st. But we can go further and do better in the future. We recognise the enormous role of philanthropy in bettering New Zealand society by removing the limits on tax rebates for charitable donations and giving support to all the organisations who make this country work.
They do take a little bit more tax than they need to, so I think it's time for a tax cut.
I do think that the average person does deserve a tax cut as well.
If we have tax cuts, everybody can live.
There should be tax cuts, but not if it's going to affect schools and hospitals.
We understand that New Zealanders like to run their own lives, and that's why we're proposing even further changes to the tax system that will help you meet today's rising costs and raise your family in security. So we'd like to see voluntary income splitting for tax purposes for parents with dependent children, a big benefit, we believe, for family life. We also want to see personal income taxed at 10% up to $12,000, 20% up to $38,000, and 30% above that. We think that's a straightforward, fair system that is easy to understand. And finally, we believe New Zealanders are mature enough to make their own decisions about what the nature of this country is and how we should run our own lives. We asked you what you thought of referenda on MMP or the possibility of becoming a republic.
I think there are certain issues there should be referenda on.
I feel a true democracy has to air the voice of all the people.
It'd be really good if they did actually listen to what the public want.
I hope you see a common theme here, trusting the people. Your party vote on election day will enable United Future to influence the next government so we have a fair tax system, a decent health system, and the chance to decide for ourselves what sort of society we want. One that reflects us as a mature nation, proud to take its place in the world, and a superb place to raise our kids. United Future asks for your party vote to make that happen and to keep the government we elect on November the 8th honest.